GPT, Google, Gemini, and YouTube. So today we're going to do day 6 intensive bartending, and this will be build and strain, and we're doing a Singapore sling. And moving forward, we'll move into shooters, other types of ways to build drinks. I do have some material from intensive bartending training book that was family-owned business for decades, and we'll get into some of that stuff. So hi Pitchins, how are you? Yeah, so today is a Singapore sling. So as we move along, you guys will realize that you would set up during opening and closing procedures your bar in advance, which would mean you get your garnishes ready, get everything all set. We're going to smash this ice right now. So we can get some kindred glass in. So Singapore sling is what we're going to make today. The recipe's in the channel description. And this is a built and strained drink we're going to use today. Our strainer top, shaker and shaker glass, and shot glass. So mixology is the art of mixing drinks that contain alcohol, requires a basic knowledge of the ingredients used in drinks, and the skills to use the methods such as shaking and stirring properly. Mixology also requires knowledge of how to serve the drinks. Presentation of beverages separates professional bartenders from servers, and you can do this at home as well. A drink tastes as good as it looks. A Bloody Mary serves as a tumbler with no garnish. A rimming looks like a glass or tomato juice. The same with the Singapore sling, with no garnish, would look not very appetizing as well. Now there's methods used to mix drinks. There's an art and skill to mixology. And so there's build, layer, stir, shake, blend. I would ask you guys to all view previous 1 to 5 intensive bartending so you can get caught up on things. Or I will do short versions moving forward. I'll check the comments shortly. So build, layer, stir, shake, blend. We did do a build on our last live. We did a Bloody Caesar and we stirred that. We'll get into layering, which will be like our Hooters and Shooters recipes here, which was copyrighted in 1993, and I do have access to the material. My name is in the material right here, as you can see. And we'll also get into the blended drinks. So we have our blender here, and we'll do that on a future live. We'll get into some information about shooters, blended, as well as some information on different types of lager and beer and things. So again, if you're just joining, we did have certified bartending training course, and that was throughout the Maritimes, so Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, PEI, Cape Breton. We also had it in Maine and South Carolina. So we get our ice smashed, and we'll get going in a moment. I'm just going to check comments now. So Pitch Chance, Hollywood Stream Snipper. Welcome, you guys. Really good to see you. So So I'm just going to move you guys over here for a second while I give you some information and history about the Singapore Sling. Hi everyone, welcome. The Singapore Sling is a classic gin-based fruity pink-hued cocktail. It's widely associated with the Raffles Hotel in Singapore. It was created in the early 20th century. It's a long drink, so tall cocktail, with complex flavor profile, combining sweet, sour, and herbal notes. The cocktail was reportedly developed sometime between 1899 and 1915 by Ngiam Tong Boon, Ngiamtongbon. A bartender at the Long Bar in the Raffles Hotel, it was initially conceived as a socially acceptable alcohol drink for the women gender, but now, of course, it'd be acceptable for men or them and theys as well, anyone in the world. Disguised as a harmless fruit punch due to its pink color. The exact original recipe is a subject of debate as it was lost after the 1930s when the hotel stopped serving the drink. The current recipe used at the hotel was recreated based on a visitor's note from 1936. So this is one of my favorite drinks. As I said, my family did have an intensive bartending training course as well as other hospitality training courses. And my mother asked me to pick one drink that I like the most. So you guys did see the Bloody Caesar. It's one of my favorites, but this one is my favorite. The International Bartenders Association IBA recipe, which is similar to the version currently served at the Raffles Hotel, is widely recognized as the standard. So that's the one we're going to make today, guys. If I can do it, you can do it. Again, go to the previous 5 intensive bartending training. Try and get caught up because there will be a conclusion moving forward with all of this training. And maybe some offers to some of you. All right, so let's get started. To let you know what we're doing here, we have some maraschino cherries. I have a straw and a stick I'm going to cut to show you 2 ways we could garnish. Some pineapple, so those are our garnishes. A straw is recommended for this drink. It doesn't have any rimming. It's a non-rim drink. We're going to use our strainer, our shot glass, which this one actually is approved by the LLBO. So the Liquor Licensing Board. We're going to use Angostura bitters. Now this came directly from our grocery store, and when I check out, it won't let the girl ring anyone out until you show ID. It's 44% alcohol and readily available at the grocery store. We're doing a lime soda mix, so it's lime juice and club soda. You can mix original bartending lime mix in a bucket at the opening and closing procedures of your bar or in your home. But we're going to combine it and make it a 3-ounce pour instead of 1 and 2. So it would be 1 of the lime and 2 of the soda. We're doing pineapple juice. We're doing triple sec, which triple sec is at 35% alcohol. We're doing a Cointreau, which is 40% alcohol. A cherry brandy, which is a 15% alcohol, and a London dry gin. They specify that you should use a London dry, not other gin for this drink, 40% alcohol. So the first thing we want to do, guys, is put some ice in our glass. This is the glass we're using. We need something fairly big. Now, a trick you will learn as you move forward with bartending is if it gets busy or you want to be snazzy, you can make your drink with your glass. I don't recommend it unless you are highly trained or at the end of this training period. We're going to use these 2. But so you know, if you want to get fancy and you become trained, you can use just your glass. So let's smash this ice again, and I'll check comments again in a minute. Welcome, Lauren Harvey. Hi, the deal. All right, let's do another smash of rice. Smash that. And we've got our bar scooper. Just going to give that a little rinse. So it doesn't really matter how much ice you put in your shaker because this is a strained drink, you guys. So we're going to put that in there. Let me see if I can get some more of this. This bag's just pretty frozen up. Some of you haven't seen me work with ice directly since our ice pour at one of the ends of one of the lessons. Alright, so we've got our metal shaker with ice in it and it's chilling. Now we want to start pouring the alcohol in. So the first thing we need is 1 ounce of gin. So this is our Tanqueray Red Seal London Dry. We just went with the smaller version. I'm not a drinker at all. So this will last years. This is 40% alcohol. And again, we'll get into speed pours. I'll show you those soon. Once we get into quicker drink making, we're going to do time stuff on the things you're learning, the Bloody Caesar, the Singapore Sling moving forward. So let's give our shot glass a little dust rinse and find 1 ounce. So right here is our 1 ounce. You don't want to over pour. Could cost the company you're working for money. Try not to do spillage. Or your resident owner that you're working in. Hi, Helen. Welcome. We're doing a Singapore Sling. All right, so 1 shot of gin. And pour that in there. And that smells good. Kind of lemony, really dry. I'm a real dry white wine or gin type of drinker when I do have a sip. Okay. So our next is our cherry liqueur, and it wants 1/2 ounce of the cherry brandy liqueur. So this is McGuinness, 700 milliliter. It's the only size you can buy, 15% alcohol. And we want 1/2 ounce of that. So always make sure your shot glass stays on the counter and eyeball it at eye length. So that's about half. Can you guys see that pour? Kind of hard because of just that, guys. Just doing a production adjustment. Okay, so that's our cherry brandy, and we're doing 1/2 ounce of that, guys. We're going to pour that in. You can hear the ice start to slowly melt as you do those things. I'm going to pin a comment just to have one up there. So I think we'll pin Hollywood's comment. There we go. All right, so the next we need is Cointreau. We need 1/4 ounce of Cointreau. So this is our Cointreau B&B Benedictine. It's 40%, and we need 1/4 of that. Again, if I can do this, you guys can too. Just a little smack of that. Next is Benedictine. So we need 1/4 ounce of the Benedictine or triple sec. So 35% liqueur. Myers 1873. So this has a real citrus sort of smell to it, you guys. We'll put this one in next. So next is our pineapple juice. So we used the Oasis pineapple juice here. Give that a good shake. Here we get all the nutrients around. So 1 ounce of pineapple juice. Going to go 3 ounces of the lime and club soda. So 1 ounce. 2 ounce. And again, guys, you can make a powdered form of a lime mix ahead of time and do your club soda separate. But I found this nifty lime juice where it's natural lime with soda. So we need 3 of that. We're getting there, guys. If I can do this, you can do it. All right. Next up is a dash of Angostura bitters. Now I told you that they sold this at the grocery store. You do need ID at the checkout. It's 44.7% alcohol. So give this a big good shake. Angostura aromatic bitters, crafting exceptional flavor for over 200 years, a legacy of heritage craftsmanship and timeless quality. All right, so we just need a dash of that, guys. Let's smell it first. It's kind of like fruity or nutty. It's beautiful smell, so we'll just try to put a dash in that. Some air coming. So there's like a kind of a double or triple dash, but that's okay. So that's that. Okay, here's where it gets exciting, and you're going to learn how to remove your shaker too. There's a trick. So we'll give the under glass another rinse. And like I said, once you get more experienced and you know you're not going to break this glass, your glass will fit here. You can make that directly into the shaker. I wouldn't recommend that until you're comfortable. Probably a few months or a couple of years of working with your shaker glass first. All right, so this one goes on top always. So this is nice and cold. It's been full of ice all this time. I'll let you guys look in the glass there for a minute before we shake this up. So our idea and goal is to get a nice little frothy shake on this. Get it nice and bruised and mixed together. So bruised would be shaken or over stirred. So we pop that in there, give her a pound down, and always shake outward. So then you just simply take your side of your hand and you pound where the 2 cups meet, and that helps release it. So pound, release. That easy. You guys excited? Here we go. So now we need a strainer because we do not want this drink on the rocks or on ice. This drink is served chilled, not on the rocks. So we're going to pour that baby right in there like this. And then we just top the rest of this with our warm lime juice. Only about 2 fingers below the edge there. Chances are the customer would be having a meal with their drink, so they want a nice full drink. So the next thing that we need to do is our garnish, because that drink doesn't look like a real drink yet, does it? So we take the back of our knife and open our cherries. Just pound on it 3 times. So it's a maraschino cherry. That's all you would use besides the pineapple, not any other type. So I'm going to show you 2 ways that you could garnish this. One is you could cut a little slice in your cherry and just rest it on the edge like this. Now we need our pineapple. I'll show you the other way to garnish this in a minute. So we would just cut a slice in our pineapple like this and rest that on there too. And customer wants a straw. No matter who's ordering it, you should find out. So there's our straw. There's our Singapore Sling. It's beautiful. Tastes beautiful. Alright, so I'll show you the other way to garnish this. So you can use one of those umbrella sticks or a sword. So I have to go over to the restaurant supply store and get some new fresh speed pours for bottles and the vodka that we have. And I gotta replace that vodka, it's almost done too. So you would use a pick or an umbrella and you load your stuff on. So to show you, I'm gonna get a different cherry because we killed that one with a slice. And we're just going to poke this stick through the cherry like this. And then we're going to poke it through the pineapple like that. And you simply rest it like this, guys. So that's a nice garnish too. Beautiful. Really nice mix of liqueurs mixed together. So we did a shaken and strained version. Told you that your flour rag is your best friend. So let's wipe up a tiny little bit of drip here. Something you'll always be doing when you're making drinks. And with that being said, I would suggest serving that with a half a napkin. Because we do have some sticky yummies in there, so you would serve that basically like this. or like this, or just give them the napkin. So there we have our Singapore Sling. So the metal shaker and the shaker glass add to the showmanship of bartending. Again, skill and art. Mechanical mixers are faster and prepare a smoother drink, but do not impress the customer. To use the metal shaker and the shaker glass, the first step is to choose the glass the drink will be served in. The size of the glass determines the amount of mix that you will pour into the mixing glass. Next, fill the mixing glass with ice. The measured amount of liquor is poured in, then add the mix. Drinks must be well shaken. When poured into the serving glass, the drink should have a foam or head on top. This gives the appearance of being cool. When pouring the drink into a serving glass, always pour fast. Pouring slowly will cause the foam to be lost. For our purposes, we will have a house rule that all cocktails are 1 ounce of liquor. The amount of liquor used in cocktails will vary from bar to bar, or for example, you'll have a complicated drink like the Singapore Sling. The cocktail list should be copied to a recipe card file or a Rolodex. You also have access to computers, smartphones, laptops, iPads these days. These recipes are the more popular small and tall shaken cocktails. We have Alabama Slammer, Bacardi Cocktail, Brandy Alexander, Chi-Chi, Daiquiri, Gimlet, Grasshopper, Mai Tai, Margarita, Pina Colada, Pink Lady, Pink Squirrel, Scarlet O'Hara, Sidecar, Strawberry Daiquiri, Toasted Almond, Velvet Hammer, Whiskey Sour, Tom Collins, Singapore Sling. So we made the Sling, guys. Good job. Alright, we'll take a look at the comments now. How's everyone doing? It's our Sling, you guys. Really yummy too. Alright, so Pitchan said, Drinky Poos, good day. Stream Stamper, I could kill for a double right now. Pitchan's doing well yourself. Zapping in, Suzanne. HSS, Pitchan said, Stream Sniper, Chance Hola Senor. Double tap your screenshot. That's right, what Hollywood said. Or we break legs. The deal for real. Hi. Lauren, hi again. Helen, hi again. The deal for real. It's my favorite flavor Dorados. Tommy Parmesan, hi. Everyone, welcome. Good turnout. Freshly. Fancy Pants. Tommy, Doritos is good. Tommy. Sunflowers. Fresh. I heard Doritos had tariffs imposed on them. No joke. I mean, it's tough for Jackie to get Kraft Dinner. That's being sent to her. Alex and Kevin can't get Lay's ketchup chips. It's just amazing. So there's tariffs to meal that stuff. Freshly dated cat, smiley, or stars, hearts. Tommy, freshly OGs. Tommy, sunflowers again. Fresh, that pineapple looks almost as sweet as you, Suzanne. Thanks, Freshly. It is really yummy. So actually, I'm just going to stop comments for a minute. And I'm going to dump my cherry and my pineapple in the drink to absorb the alcohol. So that when I get down, then I can eat the fruit. So just a sec. I'm going to plop those in there. It's like I'm a regular customer at the bar or at home just enjoying your... I'm going to put the other cherry in there too that we used for the double garnish lesson. Nice buzz from that one drink. Yes. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling it with all the liqueurs. Madass, hey, how's it going? I need a drink. Well, we got a Singapore Sling for you, bro. Would you like a straw or not? So we could drink this with no straw. Now, drinking it with a straw would allow you to absorb and get the alcohol into you a lot quicker. So it's preference too. But there's no rimming on this glass, so took it out just to show you, but we should have a straw to drink it till we get to our fruit. All right, so we'll review what we did, you guys. The instructions are in the description. So, as I mentioned to you all, I did have a family business for decades in the eastern part of Canada, eastern US, and we do have some layering to get into. Eventually, I'll show you how to do these shooters and things like that. We did in a previous lesson, so go through 1 through 5 and get caught up. We did do responsible alcohol service. And just to remind you, I do have access to this. My name is in the editing and the publishing. So responsible alcohol has been taught to you. We'll get into the hooters and shooters information. We will do mail outs probably. Once a few of you or most of you have completed the course, I can send certificates out to you. I just need to test you on a few information or do some shortened videos for you guys to review as well. So we smashed up our ice and use a ice scoop for that. Our garnishes were pineapple and cherry. It's a maraschino cherry, don't use anything else. Part of the liquor mix is the Angostura bitters, 44% alcohol. We did a London dry gin. They require you only use London dry for this drink. A cherry liqueur, we used McGuinness cherry. A B&B Dom, Benedictine. Triple sec, the Benedictine's 40%, triple sec's 35%, pineapple juice, and you can do a proper powdered lime mix and soda, or you can do the actual real lime juice with soda. So that's what we used for that. Let's have some more of our drink. Yummy. Wait till I eat those fruit. That'll be yummy. Spigoli, hey, how's it going? Yes. So if you get caught up on some of them are way back. There's one that's close, number 5, but catch up on 1 through 5, or I'll try to do shorter ones and test you guys too. But there's a few of you guys that I can mail, or maybe I'll see how I feel about it, because it should be on heavy paper through the mail, not printed from an email. Unless it was printed on heavy paper on your guys' end, it has to be a higher grade paper, the certificate. So, but yeah. Now let's go over the amounts. So you will need 1 ounce of London dry gin, half an ounce of cherry liqueur, 1/4 ounce of Cointreau, 1/4 ounce of Diomène Benedictine. We did 1 ounce of pineapple juice, half an ounce of fresh lime juice, 2 ounces of club soda, and 1 dash of Angostura bitters. We put the ice in the shaker, added our ingredients, did our pour, added extra lime and soda to top for a nice big dinner drink, and then we garnished with our maraschino and our pineapple. So our next lesson, lesson 7, will be trying to decide a strawberry daiquiri or a white Russian because those are the next two methods I need to do. So I think it'll probably be a strawberry daiquiri. We'll probably do a blended drink, you guys. So that will be less than 7. So always remember, responsible alcohol service is key. It's not advisable to mix operating any motor vehicle with alcohol as well, including running tractors, things like that. So we'll sip away on this, and then we're going to eat our fruit in a few minutes. Appreciate everyone who could be here. Really spectacular of y'all. So it takes a lot to make the drink. However, as you can see with the amounts, you could probably make probably about a dozen drinks with this, all of this stuff with the one smaller gin, 375 ml. Could probably make a dozen Singapore slings with that amount. I'm going to leave you with that vision for a minute while I have a bartender break. Okay, so there is an art and skill to mixology. And part of that is the methodology. Mixology is the art of mixing drinks that contain alcohol. Requires a basic knowledge of the ingredients used in drinks and the skills to use the methods such as shaking and stirring properly. Mixology also requires knowledge of how to serve the drinks, presentation of beverages, separates professional bartenders from servers. A drink tastes as good as it looks. A Bloody Mary served in a tumbler with no garnish or rimming looks like a glass of tomato juice. The same drink in a footed frosted glass with a fresh lemon slice and a stalk of crisp celery shows the art and skill of bartending. So there's different drink families. There's highballs, fruit juice drinks, liquor on ice, two liquor drinks on ice. This is a multi-liquor drink. And the method. So take note, especially if you're expecting to mail out of a certificate tea possibly. The methods used to mix drinks are build, layer, stir, shake, blend. So remember that. Build and layer are basically the same, but layering has to do with shooters. So build, layer, stir, shake, blend. 4. Build and layer are the same. Stir, shake, blend. Build. Ingredients are added in succession, ice first. Layer. A method to build a drink. Shooters. Ingredients are added to a glass in order of density, heavier to lighter. Spoon method. Show you that. Slowly pour ingredients over the back of the spoon. Free pour. Glass and bottle are tilted and ingredients are poured slowly into glass. Cherry. Ingredients are poured slowly over a cherry stem. Stir. Used to cool and mix ingredients added to the mixing glass in any order and stirred with a bar spoon in a circular motion. Do not bruise your drink, guys. Just slightly stir. If someone watches you and sees you bruise the drink, they may ask for another drink to be made. Use mixing glass, spoon and strainer. Shake. Used to cool and mix ingredients and create foam on the top of the drink added to the mixing glass or stainless shaker. So that's what we learned today. Blend. Used to thoroughly combine ingredients such as fresh fruit, liqueurs, or ice pushing blending machine. That's what we'll do next lesson. We'll make a strawberry daiquiri, okay? Hi, Duck. Hi. How are you? So we made a Singapore Sling today. It's a shaken and strained drink. What is a cocktail? The usual definition given in most dictionaries goes something like this. Cocktail, an iced drink made of spirits, bitters, flavoring, and sugar, and aperitif. Short drinks such as martinis and daiquiris are classified as cocktails, while the larger drinks such as slings are considered to be long drinks. Long, tall. Cocktails are made in the glass, build, shaken, stirred, blend it. Take note, guys. Garnishes will give your drink's eye appeal. Wash citrus fruits before cutting. Use sharp knife and cutting board and always cut away from yourself. The standard garnishes are wedges, slices, twists, cherries, olives, and cocktail onions. Yummy. Garnishes, wedges. Hold fruit lengthwise away from you and cut in half, approximately 1/4 of an inch across the grain. Turn it over and cut into 3 or 4 wedges depending on the size of the fruit. The purpose of cutting across the grain is that the wedge will stay on the side of the glass. Now the good news about opening and closing procedures at home or in the bars, this was already cut up for us, so that was good. Slices. Cut the ends off the fruit. Stand it up and cut through the fruit. Cut along the grain approximately 1/4 inch. Turn widthwise and cut in slices. Fruit slice and cherry on a pick. Slice fruit without making cuts in the pulp. Put one end of the slice on the pick. Add a cherry. Fold fruit over and through the pick. The term for this is flagged. So we did a flagged example here earlier. We did a side of glass example too. Lemon twist. Cut a thin strip of lemon peel with a knife and twist. It is important to peel away the yellow part of the lemon skin without including the white underskin, which is bitter. Fruit wheels. Simply slice the fruit whole and cut a slit in each slice to place on the rim. So you'd simply look like a wagon wheel or a pinwheel or an actual wheel would just set on the glass in that case. If pineapple chunks or spears and pickled onions are used, no preparation is required. Check for freshness and store them in plastic containers. Olives should be rinsed under water to remove the oily brine. Condiments are flavors used such as sugar, spices, Tabasco, Worcester. Tabasco is a liquid hot pepper used in drops. Worcester sauce is a spicy brown. It is also used in drops as it will add color to drinks as well as flavor. Condiment trays or saucers are filled with celery salt, so you can use plates or your bartending trays that are at your facility you work at. Celery salt, sugar, and table salt most commonly used for rimming glasses. A pepper shaker is also needed and a must when you're bartending, especially as you saw for our Bloody Caesar, the last drink we made in the previous live. Angostura or similar bitters, also used as drops, condiment. Preparation of cocktails. Choose your glass first. Place ice into the shaker. Middle shaker, serving glass. Add liquor. Ingredients. Follow method. Shake, stir, or build. Add garnish, called for olives, limes, lemon, orange, etc. There are many different types of cocktails. They may differ in size, but should be consistent in preparation. Remember that if juices and other mixes are not made properly, this will result in an unsatisfactory drink. So that's one thing we do not have today is an unsatisfactory drink. Hi guys, I'll check comments again in a minute. Good job, guys. I learned how to make a Singapore Sling today, which is really good news for all of you because that is my favorite drink. So if I ever stream snipe any of you or come for a visit, then you'll know how to make my Singapore Sling, or you'll know to get me a dry white wine. So we had our ice in the ice bin with our scoop. We're just gonna let that dry out in the sink for a little bit. We'll put our scoop in for a little dishwasher wash. These are dirty too. I might as well run this through the dishwasher too. Wash this one. Most of everything I use is dishwasher safe, you guys. Even China. I'm going to put this in the little utensil holder down here. Give that a dishwash. The only thing I don't do with China is put it in the microwave because it has a gold trim on it. How's everyone doing? So we'll check these comments again, see where I left off. Tommy, yum. Tommy, sunflowers, fresh. Nice buzz from that one drink, yes. Fresh with all the liqueurs. Matt S. Hi, Suzanne. I need a drink. Scully sign me up. Hello, I duck again. Alright, so we're getting down to eating our fruit soon. I'm actually going to pull a piece out and have it now. Because there's 2 more pieces of cherry and 1 more pineapple. And the reason why I did that, guys, your fruit absorbs the alcohol. We were growing up. A few of our friends bought a bottle of Golden Glow. And then they took apples and cut up and put down in the glow. So when the apple cider alcohol was all gone, they still had apples to consume and intoxicate themselves further. Hi, blah, blah. Welcome. We just learned how to make a Singapore Sling. It is a complex, expensive drink to make, but it is my favorite. So it's built in the shaker, shaken, and then strained. It's not poured on ice. It's built on ice and then strained. We top that with a cherry and a pineapple, which we're eating periodically as we go here. I'm going to go down and pull a cherry out next, guys. I love the maraschino because they've got that almond taste to it, kind of. So we're 4:22 p.m. on Saturday, January 17th, 2026, guys. I know probably Friday in some parts of the world and Sunday in other parts of the world, but that's where we are here. So if you're just joining, rewind the live before it processes. Once it's processed, you'll get to see it tomorrow. Any questions, you can put them in the comments after she comes up. That's an ICE protest. You think they're paid? Let me go blow my nose, Lauren, and then I'll give you an opinion in a sec. So, Lauren, my opinion on that is I do think that they would be funded by groups, small or large. Something happened here in Canada 6 years ago, in which our rights, through our Charter of Rights and Freedoms in Canada, were interfered with. So our ability to have religious assembly, there were even people with custody orders that couldn't transport their children or switch up. There are major issues caused because of a shutdown that our truckers fought to get our rights back during the masking time. And it was found that there was funding, bank accounts were shut down, seized. It's now been overturned by the Supreme or Superior Court right now. Now, I said it because of my legal training 5 years ago, but it's now coming to fruition that people are going to have to be released from prison. People are going to have to be compensated financially for their loss of enjoyment in life. They're messing up their families, their careers, things like that. So it's a whole myriad of issues to that. But to answer your question, Lauren, yes, I do think that they're funded or from a paid small or large entity. You know, based on my international and counterterrorism, things like that training, it could even be another country. So we don't know. There's multifacets to any question you ask me, but hopefully that helps, Lauren. Okay, we're getting down to the end. This is so yummy. It's my favorite drink, guys. Now, I don't drink. Like, I'll have a sip, like, once every couple months. Like, just a sip, basically. Or I think I got a red wine from a neighbor at Christmas. My first drink of it was New Year's Eve. The next was my birthday, a couple days later. And I think I just finished off a glass of that last night. So it took me like a month to finish a regular red wine. But yeah, we made a Singapore sling today, guys. You guys can look in the description for the instructions on how to do that. If you have any questions, you can type them in the comments part of me now before we go, or once it processes. Did you mask, vaccinate, ignore any of these if you don't want to? I did mask. I took it really seriously because my mom and dad remarried after a 30 years divorce, and they went to the Dominican Republic in 2017. When she came back, she had influenza, heart attack, and hit the floor right here. That was it. She's on life support for a couple days, that it was recommended that she had to come off that. So I took it really seriously once they started. We didn't know what was going on at the time, so I kept space from my health ailed father, 6 feet apart, numerous times a day, hand washing, mask him and I around each other always. And even to this day, I clean my toilet every time I use it. So a year before all that, I went to the Dominican prior to my parents' solo honeymoon. And I noticed there was like clothing and garbage all in the river. You weren't allowed to drink their water, but here we were showering in it. Swimming in a pool could cause problems, even drinking the ice there. So since then, I hadn't actually been flushing toilet tissue down our toilets here in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. I would put it in the garbage only, and I only use wipes. Due to a medical personal issue that I have, I choose to use wipes anyway. But yeah, so I use wipes. They go in the garbage. I don't flush toilet tissue down our toilets. Just looking at all my side options. I don't play around on my live too much. Mute, flip, hide live video, retouch, create, green screen. How's the drinking? It's really yummy. Really yummy. So pitchins, I'd never been a drinker. Like I used to go to junior high, we get a rockaberry, meet at an underground oil tank, we go in the woods, things like that. But I kind of stopped doing that going into my first degree at university. But it is nice to have a little sip now and then. So it's almost done. I've got the second part of fruit to eat. But as I did mention, Pet, my mother did have an intensive bartending training course, and she said, Suzanne, you need to pick a drink that you like. Like, it doesn't matter. So, I mean, I like the Bloody Caesar. My favorite's the Sling. We're going to do a strawberry daiquiri next lesson. That's a yummy. And someone in our family likes a White Russian. So I'm going to show you guys how to do a White Russian. We'll get into the ones that I'm showing you how to make now. We'll time how long it takes on another, like, future lessons too, once I blow through some of this stuff. I'll sip now and then, currently take a break. It is really nice, Pet, to have a drink now and then. Now, with that being said, being a caregiver for a family member, there's always things that come up. So EHS, police, lawyer, things like that. Currently, I do have a lot of family work to do. I got a phone call, voicemail on Dad's phone the other day, an email from the UK. So we have an issue we need to deal with. So if at any time you guys sense that I'm being short or not around very much right now, that is the case. I do have a lot of busyness to do, but I will bring that back forth to you guys tenfold. We'll have some fun. We still need to celebrate the 2 videos we got 1,600 or 1,500 views on. Not forgetting our fun and comedy and things like that. So, but anyway, yeah, back to Pit Chance point. It is nice to have a little sip for sure. All right, let's get this fruit going some more because it's absorbing the alcohol right now. And we're almost done, so let's eat our pineapple next. It absorbs the alcohol, you guys, so this is like alcohol pineapple. You can also do flambe drinks. Alcohol catches on fire, so you can lay drinks on fire. I'll show you that eventually. Really yummy, you guys. It's almost like, did you guys have like an ice cream truck? We had a bicycle guy come around called Diggy D. It's like when you go up and you pick one of those, just like one of those ice cream treats. There's so much sweetness, sour, or such a good mix that it's almost like a Dickie D or ice cream truck treat. That's why it's my favorite drink. Hi, Michelle. How are you? So we learned how to make a Singapore sling today. You can see how to make it in the channel description. You can rewind. This will process in 24 hours. Based on a great book. If you're into reading, check it out. Okay. I do want to read it now. Alright, guys. So I appreciate y'all joining me. 10-sip bartending, number 6. Number 7 will be a strawberry daiquiri. I may or may not do chances are we will do our sex chat tomorrow. So it'll be more about like hugging and the games that were played and any stories, things. I'll try to get my head around where we left off there. I think Lauren, Tim Fretz, and Paola also, if they'd like to share the continuation from that love story. So when was your first kiss, etc. Setting, things like that. My favorite Lauren. Alright guys, well I appreciate you all joining me. So we had some gin, cherry brandy, Cointreau, triple sec, pineapple juice, lime and soda. That's fresh lime juice, guys. Otherwise you need to make the actual powdered mix and add real club soda, Angostura bitters, cherry, and pineapple. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you all joining. Everyone say goodbye to each other, and we're going to peace out. Bye, Helen. Glad you're still here. Awesome. So it's called Wonder, is it? Hi, Doc. Bye. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. See you in channels later, I hope. Again, any questions? Put them in the comments, and this will process sometime tomorrow. It takes about 12 to 24 hours to do a good upload. Okay, bye. Bye, y'all. Bye-bye.